It is September 23rd, 2023, and I haven't actually done a recording in a couple days now. I've been under the weather, whatever that means. Why is it under the weather? What weather? Does that mean like cloudy or something? As though clouds are bad? I don't know. Under the weather. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about that one. But my voice still hasn't totally recovered. I'm a little bit raspy. I don't even want to know how it sounds like if I tried to sing, but it would be. I'm better off just not trying. Let the voice recover. And I don't know what it was, just some sort of cold or flu or something, but it happens around this time of year nearly every year. Sometimes I get some years off, and then I think about, hey, I usually get sick around that time of year when the leaves change and stuff like that. It's also around my birthday time, and there's just a few things that happen around this time of year. Not always, but usually, and they coincide and correlate pretty close to each other. It seems like it's always been more than a pattern, or at least that's how I've learned to look for the pattern. So maybe it's just I'm seeing a pattern that isn't there, or maybe it is a pattern and it's just, but I don't know. It's nothing too consequential anyway, and it only seems to apply to myself. Not the sickness part, because a lot of people tend to get sick around this time of year anyway. But as part of this year, my stomach and digestional system was so in turmoil that I just lost all appetite and just felt like, yeah, I shouldn't eat. And I actually did not eat any food of any kind. Solid, liquid, nothing. I didn't eat any food for 56 hours. And I just broke that fast this morning after work, after I got back, and I thought about it. I was like, am I okay to eat? And I was like, oh, all systems check out. Okay. So I went ahead and ate. And I didn't try out with a small meal. I just went ahead and made like a regular sized meal for me. And holding it down. And I feel okay. It looked like the body was ready to accept new information and to process it. And yeah, and I feel better. I was starting to feel a little bit weak and lethargic from not having ate in, over 2 days, which I didn't plan on. It wasn't a decision. It's just, I just slept most of the time. And so, anyway. But it's been a little while since I've done one of these recordings. And I did have a couple questions to try to answer. And I think they're in regards to, if I remember right, about not knowing exactly when people around me in my environment are upset with me, or that I might have done something wrong that offended them or hurt their feelings, or not behaved the way that they think that a person should behave, or something like that. And yeah, it's not, I don't think, for me it's, because I try to keep everything anonymous, and try to be sensitive and considerate to, all the people that I don't know that could possibly ever, stumble across this. Not that anyone's looking for it, because I don't tell anybody about it. But I just acknowledge that it is possible. So there's nothing specific that I really want to call out. I was thinking about one thing, but that was from a couple years ago. And I don't think, like what is that, disclosure could possibly be linked back. That time has expired. But it's more of a, my feelings when I was saying that and what I wrote in the video description of that, it's more of like a general purpose statement of my interactions with the rest of the world on a day-to-day basis, where I just feel constantly like I need to stay vigilant about all human interaction. Whether I make eye contact, whether I don't make eye contact, whether I make small talk when you're walking past someone in the hall, or do you say something, do you not say something, what is the distance in which you say something, what do you say, or do you just keep your eyes down and you just walk past? And everybody has what they think that means. And some people want to make eye contact every single time you pass them, or to say hi, or and just all those little interactions in passing. The things that most people don't, I don't think they think too much about it. It's just they like those interactions, or they just accept them as their normal. And they find it strange, perhaps, that somebody else doesn't like those interactions. And I'm reminded of that one movie which they remade in the 2000s. Like there's that, but I remember a scene from the 1970s version, because I think they made it in the 40s or 50s too. But it's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And there's one scene where they're, like the last survivors, the last humans that are trying to pretend to be already possessed and taken over by the alien forces that are trying to take over the planet. Because the aliens don't show emotions, and if you react to something, you're one of them. You're one of the humans that has escaped attention so far. So, but when one of the characters, she sees her, who she thinks is one of her partners or one of her people that she's been surviving with and trusts and has known for a long time, and they've been working together trying to figure out a way to save what's left of the human race and to stay hidden. She sees him and there's something happens, and she has some sort of reaction, and he sees her react and then looks at her, and just his mouth falls agape, and he just points at her and screams, which is what the aliens do when they found a human. And it's a terrifying moment where she just realizes that she's alone. And the person that she trusted and cared for, he's gone. It was too late. Something got him. Aliens found out about him, and they made him disappear. And now she's just lost. And I don't remember what happens. It's not good. I don't think there was much hope left for humanity at the end of that movie. I don't remember. But anyway, so specifically, I guess when it comes to interpersonal relationships, I guess it depends on how much I feel that I have in common with whoever it is, and how much I feel I can trust them, how safe I feel around them, and whether I just feel like I am understood and not being questioned and criticized and condemned at every turn. Or I've just kind of accepted for how I am, and they just want to get to learn about how it is I am, and sometimes I'm just quiet. and it has nothing to do with them. But a lot of times people, they don't understand that. They think it must have something to do with them, so they get their own feelings hurt just because. And then I feel like I have to then reassure them that it's not them, it's everyone, you know. Um, but that means I have to then talk, which is what I don't want to do in the first place. So most of the time well, they'll figure it out, and they'll see that I'm just not talking to anyone. It's not just them. I'm not talking to them. I'm not talking to anyone. But I don't know. It seems people get their feelings hurt. It's how it appears to me. And then they can get angry at me. And that can just last. And it can, depending on the person, it can twist and contort into all sorts of manifestations of behavior and people, how they regard me and just grow wary of me. It's like, there's that weird guy that doesn't talk. And I guess that's okay. This is at work. And when there's somebody new, who knows how new people, what sort of impression they get, or what people, they might ask something about, like, what's that guy's name? And what somebody else might say. I don't know what my reputation is. And I probably don't want to know. I'm okay with not knowing, because most of the people, it's like, I don't know anyone outside of work. I don't keep up with them or follow them, or we don't, there's no social activities, there's no activities. I don't consider anyone really a friend. They might be friends at work, but outside of that, not really. I have a few people's phone numbers, but, not really for anything social. And I guess one instance that was pretty significant from a couple years ago, which I didn't. Of course, these are the same sorts of incidents that have happened throughout my life. I just didn't really know what they were. Where people get attached, or I don't know how to say it, or it feels like people get attached and develop some sort of affection for me that I do not feel in return, not as deeply or not on the same level of connection. And it's like it gets weird, and I try to encourage them to seek out other people, make more friends. I don't want to be that depended upon or relied upon for social interaction I don't mind being a part of their group, but I don't want to be the group. And maybe I'm just giving myself too much credit, but and then when I start to try to withdraw, or go my own way or do other things, even if it's nothing, because I like to do nothing too, it's seen or what's felt with some sort of skepticism or doubt or hurt or abandon. And I don't know. And they really don't want to let go. And they really don't like change. And I can tell that it really hurts their feelings. But I usually just let them, I try to stay in contact for a little while. Just let them see me being okay. And maybe that's wrong, I don't know. And I just try to, be around. And try to make sure that they're doing okay, that they're at least talking to some other people. But this is more on a outside of workplace environment. And it's friends. These are friends, or they were friends, but they got too. It seemed like they wanted more than what I had the ability to give, and I liked them as people well enough, but I just didn't want to hang out all the time, I guess, or be accountable all the time. I wanted to meet other people, or I wanted to just not meet other people and just be alone and do other things. I was tired of doing the same rituals that we had been doing, and I had wanted to do other things, but these active rituals were, preventing me from trying out new things. And it's not that I didn't enjoy them at first, but I had just gotten tired. So for me, I guess it's about letting people go. And I know I'm on the receiving end of that as well. When people just get tired of my being in the way that I am, they just start not talking and just sort of not getting back to me and just start disappearing. And I know they wish me well and they hope I find whatever it is I'm looking for. But then they just slowly just disappear out of my life, and I kind of start wondering, when I think about them, who it is that I remember. Is it what am I remembering? Am I remembering a memory? Or am I now remembering a memory of a memory? And I get just more disassociated and disillusioned. And because I might have felt like I missed some opportunity to I don't know. And I'll never get the chance. What would have happened if I had said this at that time, or that at that time, or if I'd done something differently, but I just felt like it was too soon. But some people need all sorts of different emotional reinforcements and physical displays to let them know that they are wanted. But I'm not so good at recognizing those needs. I just do whatever it is that I do that I'm comfortable with. And whatever I don't do that might have nothing to do with them. I might like them a lot, but I don't feel like I have permission or to, it's like I need to be told things directly. Otherwise, I'll just keep talking, and people might just get bored of my just talking. And I guess the other thing was about online interactions versus offline interactions. And I really, I can't say from an outside perspective how it is that I am. I just know at work that is a different sort of environment for me. And some of my workplaces that I've had over the course of my life, I think I was a different person. I wasn't as, I don't know, with this particular workplace. And I know I can always, find another job if I wanted to, but with every other job, there's always different problems, the grass is greener sort of thing. And this one, I do have, anyway. But it's possible that I just don't get along with the people that I work with very well. Or I don't like the people that I work with very well. Or I don't understand them very well. Or I don't give them a chance very well. But then my job doesn't require me or give me much room to get to know people. Or maybe I just don't feel like I have much in common with them. Or much to talk on with them. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them or with me. It just means I just think we're different. And I'm sure that we have a lot in common. And also, I don't smoke. I gave up smoking. It'll be 4 years on September 28th. And that's a whole other story. I have lots of stories. Everybody does. A lot of people just don't tell them. Or if they tell them, I don't know what they are, because they tell them and I'm not their friend. So I don't know many people. So I don't know how many people share their lives, or if they share their lives. I come from a family of people that didn't talk. That's how it felt like. That's what it feels like. That's what I remember. I don't know how we communicated. But they have all of each other to keep each other company and to boost up each other's morale and to share their griefs and joys and sorrows. And they do all that while they're out smoking. That's where they get together and socialize. And I've been quit for so long that I have no interactions with them on that level. I just see them inside, just in passing, and there's no time, and I don't make the time. I'm just constantly busy at work, and it's not about looking busy. It's about I just am busy. And anybody trying to make conversation, I'm already got a plan in motion, and depending on who it is and what they're talking about, it's like if they're just making small talk, it's like, well, I don't want to make small talk. Whatever I don't get done, it's just I'm going to be the one that has to do it. I'm not leaving it for somebody else. I will be doing it. And now I've just added more for the next day. And I don't know. So I try not to be rude, but sometimes I come off as rude because I don't give people the attention that they want. And so most times I just try to discourage and try not to give people the opportunity to find those places to start a conversation, like eye contact and things like that. It's like, no, I'm okay. And also brief answers. All right, I guess a lot of people, they seem to, find the time in their workday to have all those conversations. Whereas I don't know how they have all that extra time, but I stay busy, and I still don't get everything done. And I feel like I'm getting judged, and it might just be me, by other people, my superiors, supervisors or managers. It's like, oh, you didn't get that done. Oh, didn't get that done. Why is that like that? No, that didn't get done. And it's like, there's only so much time. So, and outside of work, I don't have much of a social life at all. Pretty much my social is, recovery meetings and people around that. And of the anonymous variety, all sorts. And I've mostly, uh, with some discretion, been trying to moderate that and not let that be a dominating force in my life that's always trying to reel me back in, because they like me and they like how I talk and they like my presence and my personality. They just want more. No matter how much I give, it's always a question about more. So I had been down to 2 meetings a week for the past about 2 years. And then a Saturday night meeting tonight I had found out was closing because of lack of attention and lack of participation. That's another story. But so I decided to investigate that a couple weeks ago, and I became kind of like a light keeper for that meeting, and I was just going to keep it going to see what happened. And last week we had a volunteer to take it over, which is good. But now it feels like I am now beholden to that meeting, at least for a while, a couple years, to keep it going or something. I don't know. Stuff changes. So I just try to remain flexible and versatile with how life changes. But it's just difficult. And I can't tell. It's a little bit scary, too, that is it getting more difficult just as I get older? Or am I just getting a depth of perception and feeling that it just becomes too much sometimes, just to see how the world is and how the people are in it, or how I think they are, and how we all are responding to the environment that we all share. And I don't know. There's a lot to be sad about. And I don't have much, really. There's a lot of things to be grateful for. But as far as happy, I struggle sometimes. I struggle a lot of times. Just to find that motivation to get things done. Because most of the times I just don't feel like I have the inclination to approach them and to have to put myself out there and take care of situations that involve me not knowing in advance what I'm going to need to know and how it's going to go. It's like if I had a script to follow and I could read it, then I'd be okay with the interaction. I could perform the interaction. But as far as like any sort of business or financial situation, but I don't know what the rules are in a lot of those situations. So and I also don't want to sound stupid or look stupid for not knowing. It's like I should know, but I don't. And to me, it's not like I'm protecting any sort of secret, because I like to think that I don't have very many secrets, if any, that are really worth protecting. And so, I don't know. And I don't know if any of this will ever even be seen, or it's just me talking to myself yet again. But here I was on this day, September 23rd, 23, just getting over a bad cold, approaching my 4th year anniversary of not smoking, and which is the best decision I ever made, one of the best. And the fall equinox just happened, autumn